I've basically been going through an ego death tonight, and it has everything to do with the fact that I don't think I believe in God anymore, which is really alarming and shocking considering I have talked about God for a very long time, and I've been a believer in God for a very long time. I guess what I'm trying to say is the idea of a concept of there being another person external of me. I don't believe any longer that there is something outside of me. I mean, is that nihilistic? I kind of feel maybe like it's just us, but I think I've been waiting for a savior to come save me for a while, like whether it's a man or some, character I made up in my head, like having even like a face to this God and seeing it kind of like having human emotion and human everything. And it's like, I'm waiting for something to save me. But if I think about it, I'm the one that saved me. You know what I mean? Like, and this is like the hardest, I don't know. I'm the one that woke up every single day, pulled myself out of the darkness. I'm the one that allowed my spirit guides to work with me. They didn't force me. They were there as an option, and I chose to hear them. But they're really not external of me. They're in my own head. It's a frequency that I tune into. I have to choose to tune into it, right? I am the one that accepts a date to meet somebody. I am the one that gets up and does my job, and I'm the one that heals, and I'm the one that purges, and I'm the one that does rituals, and I move my energy, and I try to manifest new things. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm really just having the most profound ego death experience of my entire life, and it feels so sad. It's like I'm losing. It's like my father is dying, because that's what God felt like to me, was a father. But in a way, it kind of is bittersweet in that it's sad, yeah, but it's like the most liberating moment of my life, because now there's no one external stealing my power. It used to be before, when I would try to manifest something and it wouldn't come in, I would blame some outside authority, whether it's my twin flame sending black magic, or my mom for what she did to me when I was 5, or whatever, or generational curses from eons back. It's like, or God, oh, God doesn't want me to have it. It must be divine will. But that's the thing about knowing that ye are gods, as Jesus said, we are gods. That's the thing. Divine will is our will. What do you want? It's what the universe wants for us. But it's like you have to be okay with breaking the mold and being the one that goes up against modern religion, like what your family thinks, what everybody thinks, because now all of a sudden, in what 24 to 48 hour time span, I've basically admitted I love you, Lucifer, and now I don't really believe in God. So you're gonna have to be a little different, a little out of the ordinary. You're gonna have to grow and evolve, and this is where I've grown and evolved too. Is like, I don't believe that there is some guy in the sky just waving a magic wand anymore, making my life hell or heaven. I don't believe it anymore. I think that it's within me. I'm the one that allows someone to get close to me to love me, or allows someone to treat me like crap. It's all me. It's all been me. I'm the one that allowed black magic for so long by perpetuating that stupid truth for myself. Oh, well, here's the train now, and here's this, and he's such an asshole, and he haunts me in my dreams, and that's because I wasn't choosing to say no. I wasn't choosing to say yes to me by saying no to the idea of someone else having control over me. It's like, in the same way that an external God had power over my manifestations, is the same way I gave my twin flame power over my own mind by thinking that someone else could control my destiny. And I think it's the most powerful moment of my entire life. It is so profound that I'm almost scared because I don't know how long this integration will take. If it's just like a one night thing, like, can I just say, okay, God's not real, and then it'd be done tomorrow? I mean, this is 33 years of programming we're talking about here, so I don't know how long this is going to take. Is this like a aha moment? I get it. It's one time done deal. Or will this like affect every relationship for the rest of my life and like it'll be a huge long integration? I don't know. But I just thought how crazy that something so profound can be so simple. That maybe there's nothing external of us at all. Maybe it's really within us the whole time. You know, we're the ones that accept the help or don't. We're the ones that put in the work or won't. We're the ones that set the intention or we don't. You know? And I think that this is where I went wrong my whole life in giving power over to other people to a point where I'm 33, I have no kids, no 401k, no savings account. I've just kind of flown by the seat of my own pants for the last 33 years. And now I see it's because I thought other people controlled my destiny, my fate. I thought other people were doing this to me. I blamed the government, or I'd blame, my past generational curses, and then it was my childhood abuse, and then it was the stupid news media and the TV and the programming, and then it was always a man. It was always just a way for me to blame my failures on something else and not myself, not looking at it as like it's me. If I succeed or fail, it's me. And in a way, I've kind of pushed the whole success that I've had over the last few years to the back burner too. Like, I didn't really appreciate that I did that too. I always gave that an outside, I always said it was because of God. Yeah, God did it. And yeah, that is true. But God within me, not God external of me. The God within me that said, come on, Jenna, let's push. Let's try today to do something better than we did yesterday. Let's try to heal. Let's try to mend. Let's cry it out. Let's do this, Let's invite cool people in. Let's start our business. Let's lose 150 pounds. Let's try to be our best self. It's like, that was me. There was no guy in the sky telling me to do it. It was me pushing myself to do it. And it's like, I'm mortified that I could have lived a third of a century and not even known that God isn't real. God is real, okay? Like, God itself, the concept of goodness, the concept of love, the concept of divinity and, a higher mind, that is real. But not externally of us. It's not really anything external. And if you look at it like that, everything external of you, your cat, your kitchen sink, everything you see then would therefore be the illusion. It would be the opposite. It's not really. You're still one in the same, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to say that if there is no external God, then everything else painted externally of us that you see on this projection screen is really just the shadow. It's really just a concept of something that was already created in your mind, in God, in you, in your creative imagination, which is God. So the projection itself doesn't seem to be God. I mean, maybe that is too. Maybe that's for another day, but the projection itself, the 3D environment, I kept focusing so much on my 3D environment and seeing that as, I don't know, like proof of who I am, proof of like I'm a good person or I'm a bad person, I'm a successful person or I'm a lazy person, or I'm a rich person or I'm a poor person. And it's like the 3D now looks to be more of an illusion than it ever has. And it's because I stopped seeing it as a reflection of me. No, it's not really a reflection of like who I am and the quality of the person I am. It's actually a reflection of thoughts. Thoughts that became real. It's not about me. And I say this as I face an eviction notice, which is the hardest thing I've ever had to admit out loud. Ever in my life, actually. And I've said some shameful things in my day. I've talked about a lot of things that I failed at, and this is one of the things that really scares me the most. And as I face this truth, I'm forced at rock bottom to see, like, why did I think a God would come save me? When did he ever? When did I ever see an external source? Even even 10 years ago when I had my out-of-body experience and I met a being of light, technically speaking, I was meditating and it was within. I went within to do so. I didn't like go to some address and be like, "Hi, are you God?" No, I went within. I meditated. I did something that I guess, I don't know, maybe not a lot of people have experienced. I went to like, I don't know, like the 7D or the 8D. I'm not sure which dimension I went to. Honestly, I have no fucking clue. But I went somewhere where I saw a being of light. And though that seemed very much external of me, it technically was not external of me. It was within me all along. And it's like, once you see that, once you see it's you and everything is within you, like, it's so sad. It's so sad because it's so lonely now. That's why so many of us make up God in our mind, so we're not lonely. It's the same reason that I fell in love with the black magic that was around me for the last year and a half. All these black flies and all these songs that my twin would like harass me with. And I was so in love with the shadow element of it. I was so in love with the fact that something was showing and presenting itself to me in the 3D. But what it was is an illusion because it got me stuck and trapped in the 3D. Right? Every time I'd see a fly, I wasn't meditating. Right? I wasn't going within. I was being angry at some external thing that I saw, which was the illusion. And it was the same with that train. Every time I heard the train and I'd be like, guys, it just pisses me off. That's black magic. And what would it do? It would immediately, I'd be reacting to the 3D and then that shit would take me out of alignment so fast because then I'd be in a state of anger. And I'm telling you, it's more obvious to me now than it's ever been that there really is nothing external of us. I'm not saying, though, that love isn't real. And I'm not saying that God itself, himself, herself, whatever concept isn't true. And I'm not even really saying that nothing external of us, like, exists, I guess. Because if you have people around you, surrounding you, like, that feels very much real, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can touch them, feel them, look at them with your eyes and senses. So, I mean, that's real, right? It's like, it's very much like Morpheus in The Matrix when he says, what is real? Is it just your senses? Are you picking up on something with your senses? Does your 5 senses, seeing it, smelling it, tasting it, does that make it real? And I think that this is probably the most profound, enlightening experience I've ever had, because I was able to, for so long, blame other people for my failure. Rarely ever blaming me for my success, by the way, which, you know, is kind of sad. I think that was definitely a trait and a symptom of narcissistic abuse, is you overdo it on giving other people power, and you underestimate your own worthiness and your own ability to heal and stuff. So I actually convinced myself that other people were the reason I was failing, but I wasn't the reason I was ever succeeding. So it was like, yeah, my twin flame, he'd always be the reason that I failed or succeeded. My husband, he was always the reason I failed or succeeded. My mom, she's the reason why I always had any sort of body image issues. And it's like, no, eventually you have to get to a point where you're perpetuating it. It's you. It's literally you. You are the one that can end it or keep going. It's really up to us. And I understand, though, why human beings, why we feel so strongly about creating an external God, a source, a deity external of us. You know what I mean? Like, to worship something external, it makes sense. It's a comfort. It's like I feel so comforted knowing that I could call on God the Father, and just be like, okay, show me today something I'm going to love. And it would normally happen, but that's another thing. It's like, why did that happen though? Is it because I put belief in the idea that something could show me that? Even still, that would be me praying. That was me requesting it. That was me speaking it. That was me believing it. That was me watching it. That was still me. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like this is so profound. It's like when a baby notices itself in the mirror for the first time. It's like that kind of jaw-dropping, no way, oh shit moment. Wow, there's never been anything outside of me, really, that has existed. And I know it could seem very nihilistic and kind of even dangerous to think like that. But if you look at this matrix like a video game, like a lot of people think it is, a simulation, which I very much think it is, then it's not really dangerous to think like this. It's enlightening to think like this. Because it means that when you are here in the 3D matrix, everything you see is a projection. It is a projection of what you have continually fed the system with. You know what I mean? Like for me, it was poverty mindset, which is why, I'm having a struggle right now financially and trying to get out of that. But even saying that out loud is perpetuating the same truth that I'm financially not okay. If I want to see my surroundings change, I have to be continually looking at it like, okay, this is just a reflection. That's it. I can change everything within me, and everything external is about to reflect the change within. That's why right now I'm trying to avoid the 3D as much as possible and get into this state of alignment, which is happiness, joy, humor, laughter, acts of service. I'm trying to do things that somebody abundant would do and not look at the 3D circumstance. Because the 3D circumstances don't matter. So though, yes, technically the 3D right now is representing to me a lack mindset, there's still amazing things here that I could focus on that is not a lack mindset. Like right now, I'm about to eat some dinner. And after having starved for 6 weeks, losing over 50 pounds because of it, this food, though it's just lentils, that's all I can afford right now. I'm telling you right now, it looks like the most delicious meal I've ever eaten in my entire life. It really does. It smells amazing. It's like, oh my God, the things you take for granted that we don't realize. And noticing now that it's all in the mind. It really is a mind game. It's not about, and I was so embarrassed to say out loud that I'm a coach and I'm a spiritual healer, and I'm still struggling right now financially. I'm still struggling in this world. I'm even, the thought of even having no home, no place to live is scary to me, and it's embarrassing. But there's also this feeling of like, you know what? Bring it. Ground zero for me is going to be amazing because it's like a complete reset. It's really the old me dying, and there's nothing left but a new version that has to be born. And I know it sounds really fanatical and kind of extreme, like a little bit cult-like, but I have to think of it like that. There's no other way for me to think right now, because if I get caught up in the 3D, I'm done for. You have to separate yourself from the 3D. You know, when all these coaches and manifesting gurus, they say, don't pay attention to the 3D, guys, avoid the 3D. And it's exactly what they're saying. Stop looking at the physical, right? It's only 0.001% of matter. It's not even really the whole story. It's energy anyway. So it is the projection. It's a projection screen. Don't get caught up in the projection screen. Because if you get caught up in the projection screen, you're only to be manifesting more of that. look behind the curtain, right? It's the Wizard of Oz, the whole wizard behind the curtain. Now it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? You kind of see, wow, it's just a man, meaning it's just us. It's just us. But you have to follow the yellow brick road to get there, you know? But first, you know what has to happen? The wicked witch has to die, meaning there has to be that death to the old self that is trying to convince you someone else has power over you. You know, it's not anybody else. It's us. We're giving them power. So once that ego is dead, once that has died, that egoic construct of like, oh wow, somebody else can manipulate me, that's gone. Then you follow the yellow brick road, which is really the path to enlightenment. And then you get to the Wizard of Oz and you see like, holy shit, the one behind the curtain the whole time is really just a short dude who has no power really. He's just a man, you know? And ironically, the wizard was the one to tell all of them, you already have what you seek, right? The cowardly lion, he was already courageous. He made it all the way there. It's like only when you see that the wizard is you can you be okay with the fact that you're already the one that caused your downfall. You already did it. You already succeeded in things too. You did all of it. You just had some bias. You had some restrictions. You had some limitations on some things and not others. Like, for instance, I don't know why, but weight loss seemed to be way easier for me than manifesting money. I don't know. I just might have been a thing in my upbringing. I don't know. But I had restrictions to that, to a successful business, more than I had, I guess, weight loss. Because weight is just dropping off me so fast. It's kind of mind-boggling. And it's like, it will always continue to be that way until I say I'm done. No one now is ever going to have that permission again to control my destiny. And it used to be evil eye. I used to have evil eye bracelets. I'd make pendants. I still even technically have one, but it used to be like, well, I have to do evil eye and then return to sender. And it's like, dude, I spent like so many fucking hours a week doing return to sender. Like, it is just mind boggling. It's like taking your power back in this way really strips anybody else of having power over you because there's no one external of you. It's now you saying, oh yeah, I guess I believe that someone can have power over me. So let me return that shit back. And I literally just said that even today. So, I mean, this is like a whole mindset shift I'm going to have after this. But I literally even said that today. I was like, if you sent evil eye, like, just take it back. But again, I have to stop doing that. I have to realize that it's all within me. It's all been within us the whole time, guys. And I mean, it's quite shocking how drastic my life has changed philosophically in only 24 hours. Admitting that I love Lucifer and now that I don't believe in God. It's not that I don't believe in God. I absolutely believe in the divine. I believe in spirit guides. I believe in archangels. I believe in source. I don't believe that there is something external that wants to oppose me anymore. And I mentioned in a pick a card today how I don't want to ever hear again new levels, new devils. I think it's bullshit. When people say new levels, new devils, well, one, they're condoning that by fueling it. They're consistently saying new levels, new devils. You're ascending, so now you've got more battles and more demons to take care of. No! In fact, I think the exact opposite. I think that once you've mastered yourself, your own mind, you realize you were the devil. You were the devil that you were running from your whole motherfucking life. Once you realize it was you, there's nothing left to do but just enjoy that you are the light as well. And bring in whatever the fuck you want to bring in. With no consequences at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch some of these really amazing YouTubers like Stargirl, the Practical Witch. I love her. I do. I love her. And I used to think, like, because she would talk about like how she's so free and she just gets to do what she wants, and she does. I mean, she has a great life. We all, I think, would love to have that kind of freedom. And there was one thing I felt like I could never do. I couldn't just eat what I want to eat. I've always been plus size. And I always just said, see, it's like my digestive system will get fucked up, or I can't eat that many calories in a day. I'll just have Bloatville, USA. And it's just, oh my God, no. And then I'll gain 4 pounds overnight. And it's just no. But now, like, she literally was talking about how she just like eats whatever she wants. And then she's not even the only one. And then there's so many others that are like, I'm going to take my power back. And I'm just going to tell the universe, I literally eat whatever I want and I lose weight like that. Or I eat whatever I want and I'm so healthy. And I'm like, because some people can eat meat and still stay very high vibrational. And I convinced myself that I couldn't. So I stopped eating meat. But like my body lately has been craving more protein. And so I've kind of considered maybe even adding some back. But the point is, I can't if I'm telling the universe like, oh, I can't because there's rules and stipulation. First of all, who said that that's God's rules and stipulations? A book, first of all. But other than that, no one. I'm the one giving like all this power over to an invisible guy in the sky. I could be giving it back to myself. I mean, I really could. If I started saying things like, oh yeah, like my body loves meat. Like every time I eat meat, I always like feel stronger and I feel healthy and I feel grounded and centered and I feel really, really healthy. I'm not saying like bad meat. I'm saying like things that I agree with, grass-fed, stuff like that. But the point is, I didn't think that I was allowed to have permission to do whatever I want in this matrix. What the fuck is the point of being here if you don't get to have any fun at all doing anything? Literally doing anything, even the things that I wanted to buy. I would be like, oh no, I can't see though, because there's like this textile trade thing, I don't know. And then there's this thing, 6,000 miles away, there's like this water shortage and, I can't do it because of that. And then this company did this, that one time 16 years ago. And then there was that, and then I couldn't do that. And my God. And like, just an example, but like I was thinking the other day how it would be so cool to swim with dolphins. I'm like, oh no, I can't do that because, these animals. But I'm like, what about dolphins that swim in the ocean? Like they're not caged, they're just swimming freely. Like there are things that I could create in my mind that are aligned with what I think love would be, which would be dolphins that get to swim freely. And yet I get to go swim with them. You see what I'm saying? It's like I kept limiting myself to a confined prison cell. And it's no fucking wonder that I have so much caught up karma that has played out in this, what seems to be apocalyptic bullshit in my life right now, where everything seems to be going to shit. It's a culmination of the last 1 to 2 minutes talking to you guys, from the last 1 to 2 years talking out loud about how something else has power over me. I mean, is it any wonder that the culmination of 33 years of bullshit thinking has led to an eviction notice? No, it's no wonder. And it's like, just seeing that and taking my power back is like, oh my God, it is so freaking liberating. It's just, but it's the sad part of knowing that there's nothing external of you. It's so lonely. It is. And I'm not happy about it just yet. Cause I spent a long time loving God the Father, especially being raised Pentecostal, being very much indoctrinated in religion. Like that's just what it is. God has always been something external, and he'll either punish you or love you. And those are the two choices. And so you had to do certain things to be loved. And if you did certain things, you'd be hated and punished and sent to exile. And it's like, first of all, that's not even unconditional love. Unconditional love means you can do anything and still be loved. That is unconditional. So it's just like, it's so, my mind is right now mush, and I'm not understanding a lot right now, but yet everything makes sense at the same time. Nothing has ever been external of me pushing me. It was always within me. And when I finally realized this, I stopped blaming my mom, my dad, my twin flame, everybody, because it's not their fault. They were in the projection. They were in the matrix, the simulation itself. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to be the one to motivate me and uplift me. It comes from within. I was trying to find it from without. I'm trying to find it externally of me and then have them convince me, oh yeah, today it would be great, Jenna, if like you drank more water, and yeah, let's get grounded today. Let's go get some sunlight, you know, like fuck that. They can't do that. And I can't be mad that they won't do that for themselves, especially when I hadn't manifested a version of them yet that would do that. Why? Because as of 20 minutes ago, I just realized I have the power to do so. Before that, I couldn't manifest people who gave a shit about their own psychic health and well-being in my life. I was manifesting people who I thought would want to control me and overpower me and not make me heal and happy. So it's not my fault. And this is definitely not their fault. So the level of forgiveness that is coming through me now is out of this world crazy. It's like, wow, I let it all go. I forgive my mom. I forgive my dad. I forgive my ex-husband. I forgive my twin flame even. Like, they're all so beautiful. They really are, you know? Even though they hurt me. I hurt me, and I allowed them to hurt me. I didn't know I was allowing them to hurt me, but now that I know, I realized they had no choice. They had to do what I willed. I willed it into existence by saying, oh yeah, moms are always just jealous of their daughters. Oh yeah, dads aren't really kind. They're always militant and rude. And I perpetuated this truth. When instead I could have said, my mom is healed and she's so happy for me and super proud. And my dad, he's so kind and generous and just loves love, you know? He's so funny. I could have said that. But I was stuck in the matrix. I was stuck in the 3D, guys. That's what that means. When you're stuck in the matrix has you, Neo. That's what it means. It means you're so stuck and glued to the physical right in front of you that you forget you're the one creating the physical. You're creating it, and then you're ending it with watching it. The alpha and the omega. You're both the creator and the ender of it. You're the one doing both. If you were to sit here and only think of like manifesting money for like a good few days, you know, like only thinking about money coming in, it would have to eventually show itself in the 3D. But you can't focus on more coming in if you're always seeing things going out. And it's really scary to me that we could have fallen as society into this trap for so long. Like, this is terrifying. Does this not freak anybody else out? Like, that this is so fucking real? That the Matrix is a fucking real thing? Like, I remember when I watched the movie and, you know, he was trying to get out and he had Trinity and that one chick pull out the parasite looking thing from his stomach, and he's like, holy shit, that thing's real. Yeah, it's like that. It's like, oh my God, is this stuff real? It's crazy. It's crazy to me, man. It's all fucking crazy to me. But now that I have the knowledge, I can understand that I'm not really to blame. I'm not at fault, right? Neither are you. Any real like tragedy in your life, and it's not really your doing. It's not. It really isn't. That is not your fault. It is our responsibility, though, to understand that it was our responsibility. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not our fault. Those things that happen, those negative things, it wasn't our fault. We were all under the illusion. We were all under a spell, really. But now that I understand, it was me. I was doing it all along. It's such a liberating moment. It really is, but it's matched equally to the severity of darkness and gloom and sadness that I was perpetuating, and I was under the illusion that God was something external of me. He wasn't. It never was outside of me. It never was outside of me. It was always within, and it was always something that I accepted. Either I accepted to wake up early and, you know, work out and feel good about my day, or I decided to sleep in and become a lazy bum all day. That was my choice. That wasn't God saying it. Same when I eat a cheeseburger. It's not like God came down from the heavens and was like, Jenna, how dare you? I was the one punishing myself if I would eat a cheeseburger. And then my body would hear that and be like, okay, so you really think that it was bad, so we're going to do something to prove it to you, whether it be bloating or gaining 5 pounds, whatever the fuck the case is. So I have been doing it all along. It's liberating in that it's gonna be a game changer, but it's really devastating in that I've just lost my best friend. God, this external thing that I could have blamed for all of my failures and worshipped for all of my successes. I could have praised him. But who's him? And where do I point to when I'm telling somebody about the praise? Who do I point to? Look to the sky, guys. Well, he didn't come from there, right? I think this is why it's in the Bible. Like if they say, look here, the kingdom of God, don't look there, here. It's within you. That's the whole point. It was within us all along, man. The kingdom of heaven and the fucking kingdom of hell too. It's all within us. And it's like, it's so shocking to me how all of it makes sense all of a sudden. And anyway, I'm going to eat my lentils and I'm going to change my life, and it's going to start right now. I'm going to mourn the loss of my best friend and my Father in heaven. And I'm going to cry and purge about how I'll never see him again. But if I think about it, I never saw him to begin with. He was a comfort character for me. He was a comfort. That's it. He wasn't real. And now I can change the whole game because I'm real. A guy in the sky coming down from heaven telling me not to eat a cheeseburger is not real. You know who is real? Me, right now. Skin and bones. I will wake up tomorrow and I will know that I am God. Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.